This is Crown Narratives, where African stories meet the future. Picture this. You're in a packed area in London. Thousands of fans sing along in unison. The rhythm, unmistakable. The energy, electric. The sound, African. But here's the thing. Not too long ago, many people outside the continent had barely heard of Afrobeats. Let's fast forward a few decades, and African music is filling stadiums, topping charts and setting dance floors ablaze across the world. Sounds unbelievable? Trust me, we are only scratching the surface, because this isn't just the story of music. It's the story of culture, identity, technology, and a continent finding its voice on the global stage. Long before streaming, before social media, before viral dance challenges, Africa was already moving to its own rhythm. From the hypnotic drums of West Africa to the melodies of high life. Well, music wasn't just entertainment. It was memory, celebration, resistance, connection. And then came a pioneer, a man who changed the rules of the game, Fela Kuti, by blending traditional African rhythms with jazz and funk. He created Afrobeat, a genre that carried political messages as powerfully as melodies. Notice something? Afrobeat without the S. Afrobeats with the S. Now that's different. Related kinda, but not the same. And that's where things get interesting. Afrobeats, the modern genre, would emerge decades later, shaped by a new generation of African artists. Now you're asking, how did African music travel from local airwaves to global playlists? Well, simple. Technology. The internet arrived. Streaming platforms changed the rules, and suddenly, artists no longer needed permission from global gatekeepers. A song recorded in Lagos could be heard in Los Angeles. A dance challenge created in Accra could go viral in Tokyo. The world had become smaller, and African music had found a passport. Boom! The borders of sound began to disappear. Then came the artists: Wizkid, Burna Boy, Davido, Tiwa Savage, Tems, Rima, a new generation carrying African sounds to every corner of the globe. Collaborations with international artists became common. Award stages that once felt distant suddenly felt reachable. And one by one, the dominoes began to fall. African music wasn't knocking on the door anymore. It had entered the building. And trust me here, it wasn't leaving anytime soon. Picture this. A teenager in Nairobi hears a new song online. Hours later, someone in Brazil is dancing to the same beat. Thousands of kilometers apart, connected by rhythm. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, streaming services. Technology had become the amplifier, and culture the message. Dance trends spread overnight. Lyrics crossed languages. Fashion followed music, and music followed people. This wasn't just entertainment. It was globalization with an African soundtrack. But Afrobeats is bigger than charts, bigger than awards, bigger than streams. Because music does something numbers cannot measure. It carries identity. For millions across Africa diaspora, Afrobeats became a bridge to home, a reminder of heritage, of language, of belonging. And for audience discovering African culture for the first time, it became an invitation, an open door in a continent rich with creativity. Because every beat tells a story, and every story carries a piece of Africa. Now, here's the million-dollar question you've been anticipating since. Where does Afrobeats go from here? Artificial intelligence is changing music production. Digital platforms continue evolving. New artists are emerging every day. And somewhere on the continent right now, a young creator is recording music in a bedroom studio, armed with nothing more than a laptop, a microphone, a dream. Sounds familiar? Because history has a funny way of repeating itself. The next global superstar may already be creating, quietly, patiently, waiting for the world to listen. As night falls in cities across the world, the beat continues. From Lagos to London, Nairobi to New York, Accra to Amsterdam, Africa's rhythm travels farther than ever before because music does more than entertain. It travels, it connects, it reminds us who we are. And if the rise of Afrobeats has taught us anything, it's this. Sometimes the world doesn't change all at once. Sometimes it changes one beat at a time. This has been Crown Narratives, where African stories shape the future. A Calmey Crown Studios production.